What up, awesome viewers? Radio Dion here. Today we're going to talk about the Galaxy S23 Ultra. If I were to get it, I'll get the 1 terabyte because this does not have micro SD, so get the biggest storage possible because most likely if you're going to use your phone for as an emulation device, well, you're going to need the biggest storage if it doesn't have micro SD. 1 terabyte, I would say, is the okay spot. It's not the sweet spot. The sweet spot, I would say, maybe 2 terabytes. It's because the only reason why I say something like that is because if you were to do the 2D consoles, and if you do most of the common ones, you're probably gonna fill up about maybe 100 gigs. I'm gonna say estimate 100 gigs, and we're talking about like entire libraries of those 2D consoles. Where we're not talking like 10 games or something. Like no, we're talking like entire libraries. So estimate 150 gigs estimate of some of the more common 2D consoles. And then when it gets to the 3D stuff, that's when things gets big. It's because if you were to say get the entire library of like PS1, I think that's maybe 800 gigs, maybe, or could be a terabyte something. It really depends. And but that's just PS1. PS2, I don't even know how many terabytes that is. But after taking care of the 2D consoles, then you're gonna move on to the 3D. Once you're at 3D, that's when you gotta really pick and choose. And I would say 2 terabyte would be the sweet spot because at that point you either have most of the stuff you want from the 2D, I mean not from the 2D, from the 3D, and have all of the stuff from the 2D, if that's possible. So this is just me going on wild goose chase, just estimating out of thin air. So that's what I feel like. So ideally, if your phone has a terabyte, which I would say S10 Plus would be the thing that I would think about that has a terabyte, plus another terabyte of micro SD, because S10 Plus has micro SD storage option, then you'll be in the sweet spot. Yeah, I think so. So, comment down below, let me know if you are those kind of people that go for entire libraries of things that kind of have everything there just in case if you want to play something or you don't have to like go get it, so you just have it, just like that. But if you're one of those people that's just like you just kind of have the games you want to have and get them single filely or a couple at a time, something like that. Yeah, I think a terabyte's fine. Like a terabyte should be pretty good. 512 gigs should be pretty okay. But a terabyte is better because it's just more storage. So there's that. So that's in terms of just talking about storage. Talking about the actual phone, I'm pretty sure most YouTubers out there will give you all of the specs and stuff. So there's really no point of me telling you the same thing over and over again. So it's just boils down to, do you have an S22? Because if you have an S22, don't do this, which is the most obvious thing anybody can tell you. But I will tell you that if you have an S22 Ultra, don't do this. If you have a Note 20 Ultra 512 gigs, don't do this. You lose micro SD. The stuff you gain from losing micro SD is not worth it. Hands down. Because if you're coming from a Note 20 Ultra, you already have an excellent camera system. So it's only going to either be marginally better or like you're some kind of like very specific person that needs to have this particular use case then sure, why not? But you lose micro SD. So that's not really an upgrade. That's a downgrade, if you really think about it. Because you went from having a feature to losing a feature. And the stuff you gain, the trade-off for losing micro SD is a better chipset, better camera, smaller screen, because 6.8 and the Note 20 is 6.9, so smaller screen. You lose this thing called MST or MTS or something like that a lot of people actually use a lot. Depends, because that's basically the videos of Note 20 people telling me. So you lose MST. So that's another feature you lose. Sorry about that, got interruption. So anyways, back talking about the S23 and how the trade-off is a better camera, faster chipset, smaller screen, lose MST, lose micro SD. You can do the 120 hertz with the 1440p display. You can't tell the difference. Unless you pixel peep, like put the screen severely close to your eye, you can't really tell the difference. I mean, back then, or however long, when I decided to post the Note 20 videos or not, it's like when I had that phone, like I put it in 720p to save battery life, and I can't tell the difference between that and 1080p. So yeah, I put it down to 720p, 60 hertz, had excellent battery life, and does not affect me whatsoever in terms of using the phone. Because when I use it as an emulation device, I mean, let's be honest, PS2 is not 720p anyway, so I think that's probably 480p, and then most of the 2D stuff is the 2D stuff, so you don't really need that high of a resolution to begin with. But hey, I mean, that's just me. If you want to go all out, you do that. Go all out. So if the 1440p 120 hertz is really that significant, yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead. Throw away the Note 20 Ultra, get the S22 or the S23 Ultra, and then regret later on. Because that's what I feel like is gonna happen if you're an emulation gamer. If you're a normal, quote unquote, regular user, I'm gonna be honest with you here. Why are you getting S23 Ultra? Like, if you're just a normal smartphone user, why not just get the A53 or the A52 or A something and just save so much more money? Because I mean, you're looking at like $1,000 for a phone, and because you're a normal person, in this particular case, you're not even going to use most of the features anyway. So you're probably just going to use it as a phone, take calls, send texts, and go on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or something, and that's probably it. Maybe play a couple of Android games here and there. Candy Crush, if that's still popular, and then call it a day. So there's no point in having such an expensive phone. I feel like you can use that money to spend on something else, with food, gas, bills, stuff to live. Because it's not worth it to spend this much money on a phone. It's really not. So yeah, there's that. So if you are a tech enthusiast, okay, so now I'm talking to you, where like you gotta have the latest and do it, because that's the only people that I can see that makes sense with this device is that you are a tech enthusiast, a early adopter. You want the latest and greatest of whatever thing your hobby is. Yes, I feel like that's worth it for you because it's a hobby. Like you have disposable income, you have a good chunk of disposable income that you can spend on a hobby. That's completely fair. Do it. Even if you have an S22 Ultra, do it because that's you. Like let's see, this is an entirely different breed of people that I'm talking to now. Like I'm not talking to normal people. I'm talking to tech enthusiasts. And tech is your hobby, and you have disposable income. Then nothing should be stopping you from doing this because that's you. So the point that I'm trying to make is that it really boils down to who you actually are, because if you are in any of those categories, then this phone might or might not be worth it to you. Because one more group of people. If you are a status seeking individual that is materialistic and having the most powerful thing is like a status symbol for you to go around show off to your friends and family, yes, this is also that device too. But it's kind of hard though, because this one looks so similar to the S23 Ultra that the way how you show off, you got to be very specific. Like this has more rings on the camera or whatever particular key feature that you want to show off about. Then this can also be it for you because you're more or less in line with the tech enthusiast where you have disposable income and you want the latest and greatest thing to show off. So if that's you, this is also the device for you. So there's that. If you are a conscious person that wants the best bang for your buck, this is definitely not it. I would say S22 Ultra because you get the last year's device for significantly less money, but at this point it's really not. It's really not significantly less money. So I would say if this is you, like you're a best bang for your buck conscious person, get the Note 20 Ultra. I think that is like the good one. Okay, that's a. Why are they putting a fake phone for the sponsored? Oh, because it's the sponsored one. Okay. Yeah, get the Note 20 Ultra. It's like $404. It's renew. You buy, you're gonna have a charger, and then you're gonna have all the things, and it's gonna be significantly less money because it's only $400. And you're gonna have micro SD expansion. But if you're like a conscious buyer, don't you already have this device? Or an S10 Plus? I feel like, the S10 Plus might actually be more up your alley. Because I think that's probably like $200. You get a lot of bang for that money. Is that the high-end version? Yeah, S10 Plus Prism Black for like $200. Yeah. This is most likely going to be up your alley because it has micro SD, it has headphone jack, has all the legacy feature, and if you're a conscious buyer, you don't upgrade like yearly. You don't upgrade every 2 years. You probably upgrade like every 4 to 5 years. So from whatever phone you have, if you want to move up the ladder per se, I would say this is a really good choice because it's going to have all of the legacy features that you want and not cost an arm and a leg because it's $205. So there's that. Um, yeah, so that's what I would say if you're like the conscious bang for buck individual. There's that. Uh, in terms of me personally with the S23 Ultra, I'm at a point where it's like, because I'm not getting the features that I really want personally. Because when I buy a phone, I'm not just using it as a phone feature. I'm also thinking about using it as a gaming device, which hence I'm recording on a gaming device now. I'm using the AYN Odin to record this video, and yeah, which is why if I were to go ahead and get another phone, it's probably going to be a phone that's also going to be a gaming device, and yeah, I would want legacy features. I would want the headphone jack. I would want micro SD. I'm probably going to get something from Sony because they have like those legacy features. That's also the latest chip. Because having a fast, powerful chip does matter in emulation gamer. But yeah, this one doesn't have micro SD, nor does it have a headphone jack. So this is not in my territory of things to get. The Note 20 Ultra is pretty good because even though it does not have a headphone jack, it does have micro SD. So I feel like for the Note 20 Ultra, that's more up my alley in terms of the things that I want from a device because it has a nice big screen. It has micro SD. It has 512 gigs of storage. I'm always gonna buy the highest storage available. So yeah, it has 512 gigs of storage. It has a pretty fast chip too. Yep. So I would say that that's probably more up my alley for me personally. So yep. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the S23 Ultra. A lot of things that I'm pretty sure you want and know you have already watched videos on, so there's really no point on me saying the same thing there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know. Are you gonna get the S23 Ultra or the S23 line plus or regular? Gonna wait for the fan edition? That too. Yep, so let me know. Put comments down below if you're new to the channel. Click subscribe, thumbs up the bell for more content. You guys stay awesome.